Hey up lads and lasses, Fletch here from Ultimate Halo, and the new Ask 343 was released last night, and honestly I think there is a hell of a lot to celebrate. Audio is a huge part of Halo, there's no getting away from that, whether it's the score from Marty O'Donnell to the epic gun sounds we've lived with for pretty much 2 decades now. But 343 have almost gone back to Bungie's roots in Halo 3 and done some incredible stuff that I think fans might not appreciate just yet until they actually hear it, so we're going to break all of that down.
Ultimate Halo.
Okay, so whilst this list isn't entirely comprehensive, there are some key factors that I do want to go over. Now, the first thing is enemy footsteps have a different noise in the multiplayer. Now, this might be a small thing, but I'm sure it's only subtle. But basically, if you can hear your teammates' footsteps and there's an enemy nearby, you'll be able to differentiate between the two. And this links into their threat priority system, which basically the game engine will determine what is your biggest threat in-game at that time that's going to deal you the most damage, and how should it prioritize those noises. There's going to be music in the multiplayer, which is at the start and the end, and it's also going to build up towards the end as well, just to highlight those really impactful moments. The music from the E3 2017 trailer is not going to be in the game, although this is just because it was more of a conceptual phase the game was going through musically. But if you want to sort of listen to that, it's actually the ending of Blue and Green, which is one of Kazuma Shinauchi's tracks in Halo 4. The music is going to be DMCA free, so if you're a content creator like myself, it means that hopefully their plan is so that you don't get any copyright strikes. You can use it as you will for all of your videos, which is fantastic news if they follow through with that. Jeff Steitzer is back. We all know Jeff Steitzer. He does the voice of God in multiplayer and also does our intro and outro.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more.
No dates yet for the music reveal, unfortunately, but I think their rationale is that a lot of the titles and a lot of the themes themselves kind of give away the emotional, impactful moments of the game, which I absolutely understand. I think these things are best coming in the actual experience rather than prior to it. And this is the key thing we want to discuss, and I alluded to at the start of the video, which is the system in Halo 3 that 343 are taking a lot of inspiration from. So essentially, one of the questions was, is Halo Infinite's music dynamic? Now, in Halo Infinite's gameplay trailer, you did see little hints of this, and essentially what it means is the game will change its music depending on what's going on in the game. Now, a lot of you might think, well, that's not necessarily that great. I mean, it's cool, yeah, but is it that hard? Yes, it's very hard. As someone who's a musician myself, I mean, I hate recording music at the best of times, but what you have to do is you record what are called stems. Now, basically what a stem is, it's a line of music. It's just one instrument doing one track. And if you break down, let's say, a song, each song has different layers and different stems. It's like if you made a video, for example, there are different layers on top for each bit of video, and it's the same principle for music, but the complexity is, it's all got to be in the same key, it's got to transition, it's got to be in the same timestamp. There are lots of things to take into consideration when doing such a music system, and it's not an easy task. And this is exactly what Marty O'Donnell did in Halo 3, and you probably don't necessarily notice because it is very subtly done, but the game reacts to what is going on at the time. If you kill all of the enemies, the music's likely to die down, and I'm just going to play a couple of examples on screen as to when the Halo Infinite gameplay trailer did this. So hopefully you can see that the game reacts dynamically. That's the idea, dynamic music. It is also difficult, and Marty O'Donnell was quite vocal about this as well, in that creating a Halo 3 soundtrack was very difficult because he had to put all the stems in the game, decide where to use them, and then once that was done, he had to then decide how to arrange the stems in the official soundtrack. So there's a lot of things to consider here, and that's a lot more work than, let's say, just creating a song for a game. It's a lot more dynamic and there's a lot more intricacy that goes into it. So this is something I'm really glad that 343 are doing. But this was just a very high level video, but if you love Halo Infinite content, please consider subscribing. Once we hit 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway full of Halo swag, so hopefully you'll be around to see that. Once again, my name is Jack Fletcher and I will see you next time on the one and the only Ultimate Halo.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.